You ready? Yep. Everybody ready? Well, I want to welcome everybody to the December 6th, 2022 meeting, possibly our last meeting for the year. At this time, if I get a approval of the agenda.
So moved, Chairman. Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Let's have it. All right, Don, would you do the honors tonight?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support. Please help us engage in a meaningful discussion and allow us to grow into a better and safer community. I'm short tonight, Lord, but we're not short on loving you. All this we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Graham.
Yes, sir.
All right, we started tonight we're planning and zoning. If anybody's here for planning and zoning in opposition to this request, you will get an opportunity to speak. Mr. Petrowski wasn't able to make it tonight, so I told him I'd cover for him. Right now on our item, we have R. Cogburn request a conditional use to allow horse training and horsemanship school at his property at 115 Woodward Drive, consisting of 32 acres. Cowboy, you want to work up here close? Because I know they got you some, they might tell us what you want to do, and they might have some questions for you.
All right, so I had a little issue understanding what the school permission was about. You know, I'm visioning the schoolhouse and all that stuff. But anyway, I was told I had to get permission as a school because it's not any other place to put standing in the field teaching people about horses. That's what I'm going to be doing. So it's teaching horsemanship, and the reason for that is because I raise and train ranch horses, and John's seen them and Chris has seen them work some. Chris's was successful, John's hadn't been yet, so we'll see. But anyway, some people have had interest about learning about horsemanship, and that's what we teach in horsemanship. It's not really a riding school, it's teaching about horsemanship, relationships with the horses and stuff like that. So.
Any questions for Rooster?
No questions.
Rooster, is anyone here tonight in opposition to this request? If none,
Motion to approve, Chairman. Second.
second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Come see me.
Appreciate you.
Come see me and
I
watch
told you it
the
wasn't
work.
going to be that hard. That's whatever Tim said we had to do, let's do it by the book. And you said, okay.
Great.
All right,
See
thank
on
you.
Monday.
All right, we move on tonight to board appointments. Mr. Risner, you want to start off with River Edge?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So in your packet, you've got a letter from River Edge, and so Thad Childs, that served on their board for some time, is indicated he wants to step down, and so they're in need of an appointment to fill that spot. In the letter, they described that Alex Smith, who's a Jones County resident, is currently on their board in another spot. Basically, they have spots that are specific to counties, and then they have some members at large. So he's currently in one of the member at large spots, and they said he's been a faithful member of the board for some time. They're asking to place him into the Jones County specific seat, and so wanted to present that to you and see if the board would be so inclined to make that appointment.
Would that then open up the at-large seat?
It would,
I
and
guess-
I don't know what their process is for appointing those. I think so. I think my understanding is that at the end of this, you know, right now we've got 2 Jones County residents that are on that board. If Alex Smith is moved to the Jones County specific slot, there is the potential that member at large spot could be filled by somebody not from Jones County. Now, how much difference that makes, I don't know, but I think that's because I don't understand what their process is for appointing those at large positions.
And I guess that would be one of the questions. What is the difference? I mean, if they're both voting members, what is the difference in moving from an at-large seat to a Jones County representative seat? And is this something that Mr. Smith wants, or is it something that the board's recommending? And if that's the case, diluting our representation on that board less than what we have now, I'm not sure that that's something I would want to see.
I'd be happy to try to get more information on this, and we could bring it back at
Yeah,
the
but-
January meeting.
That would be good.
Have a little less than 2 months to, I agree with Sam, and we may want to reach out and advertise and see if there's somebody else that wants to take Mr. Child's place on the board as a Jones County representative, so we keep 2 spots on that.
If I could get a motion to,
This motion to postpone, Chairman, until we get more information, the next meeting.
we have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Second. Any more discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to Development Authority. I think we've got some people leaving and people wanting to fill in the position. Mr. Resner?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So at the end of this year, I believe there are 3 members that are coming off that board. I believe it was Dottie Walker,
Francis.
Francis Adams, and
Alan.
Alan Childs. And so they've got a potential replacement or a recommended replacement of one of those positions, and that's Eric Varnado, that lives in Haddock. And so the Development Authority has sent this over as a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners.
We can go one at a time. We've got the first one would be Eric. We have questions on that?
Is that the only one we've got, right?
No, we've
That's
got
still-
multiple ones.
There are multiple open spots. This is the only recommendation we've gotten from them at this time.
I thought we had additional. That's the only one that we got an application on?
That's the only one I've seen. You haven't seen yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all we've got at this point.
All right.
What was the name again? Eric?
Varnado,
He's the Vice President and Person Environmental.
Yeah.
But we've got
Lori's
one from Morris Bank. Apparently, we haven't got their application in yet.
okay.
They've got 3. Apparently, we're waiting on application.
I got you. Okay.
Is it for the same position, or is it for
To fill the 3.
the 3 positions?
3
are open?
vacancies.
Okay.
Right. You want to call Haley? I mean, we should have got their application in, shouldn't
That's the only one that she sent over to us.
we? Okay, well, we can always do the next 2. I don't think that's time-wise, but I think we're still fine, aren't we? All right, well, if I can get a motion on this.
Motion to approve, Chairman.
Second.
Second, any more discussion? None, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it, thank you. All right, we move on to consent agenda and approval of minutes. All we've got is the 3rd Tuesday, November 15th. If y'all had an opportunity to review the minutes, I'll entertain a motion at this time.
Motion to approve, Chairman.
Second.
Second, all right. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. We might get off early tonight. We think, you don't think so?
No,
Keep going.
Keep it moving.
We're trying.
Don't jinx us.
Don't jinx
Stop
us.
talking, keep moving.
Our visitor, Ms. Potts, couldn't be here tonight. She took ill, but Mr. Wood, I think you've had a conversation with her. And
I did. Mr. Chairman, I spoke with Ms. Potts on Friday afternoon after I saw the agenda, and I'm thankful for Public Works to get the mowing done on Flat Shoals Road. And there's some other little issues that I'm gonna get with Jason, and he'll get with Public Works about, and we'll follow chain of command on that. But what I would like to see coming out of this is regularly scheduled mowing, a couple times a year, whatever the other roads in the area receive, for Flat Shoals Road, because it's been, I think, over a year and a half since they had any mowing. And we need to look at how other county roads such as Light and Tie, Overland Way, Chambers Road, Salem Miller Church Road, when they get mowed, it needs to be on a rotation like all the other roads. That way they're not left out.
Right.
All
And I
right.
mean, the neighbors have done a great job on Flat Shows to keep what they
Right.
can, but I think the issue was mostly.
It's some of the slopes and
the
things
slopes
where
that
the
they couldn't get on with their
ride
mowers, so
lawnmowers
yeah,
can't
I
get.
can,
Right.
like I said, I mean, just, if you weren't realize what you're looking at, you say, well, it looks good here, but it's like 5 or 6 foot that they couldn't get to,
Right.
so yeah.
Right, it grows up.
I think there's one other thing she had concern about, you wanna?
Yes, she has some ditch issues, from the eroding ditch, and that's, I think, we'll get with Jason. I think there's some pictures we have that, because ditch can be repaired, but it's going to take a little work from backhoe and public works and get it sloped and stabilized so it's not eroding and washing, and it'll be maintainable.
How about the, weather?
And the weather siren, I got with Don a couple weeks ago, and I think it's on order, and the contractor's getting his,
They're in, the contractors in
Okay.
Texas.
he's in Texas working, and so it'll be a matter of just when he can get back in this area,
Yes, sir.
assemble it and
I got
install it.
two that are- so we're ready to go.
We appreciate that, and we'll just let you pick a suitable location for that, and that way it'll handle that area of the county of District 2 and Wendy's District 3.
Right, they're gonna be solar, so we don't have to
Right.
plug into anything.
Good.
Very good.
Great. All right, good. Like I said, we've had two different citizens live on that road with concerns, and I think we're
Right.
we're
Addressing them.
taking care of it. That's great. All right, we'll move on to new business. CDBG engineering selection. Tiffany, welcome. How you doing?
Good, how are y'all? All right, I'm standing in for Greg Boyke on the selection of the engineer for the CDBG. He had to attend a couple other meetings tonight. The Middle Georgia Regional Commission was asked to assist with a community development block grant application for Jones County, and the county prepared a request for qualifications for engineering services to support the application. They designated a local selection review committee to evaluate responses received under the RFQ, and this committee included staff members at the MGRC, including myself. Each RFQ reviewer completed a thorough analysis, and we've provided that methodology in the memo, and I'll quickly pass that over. We looked at experience, staffing capacity, and project approach. The proposals were due by 12 p.m. December 5th, 2022, and a total of 3 firms responded to the request. One of the firms was Ingram and Associates. They're an engineering firm based in Macon, Georgia, and they have worked on several CDBG projects since it was founded over 14 years ago. Their experience was rated as excellent based on the number of recent CDBG projects undertaken. Their staffing capacity is rated as excellent based on the extensive years of experience held by the staff of the firm. And their project approach was rated as excellent based on a demonstrated understanding of the required approach with some detail provided. Hofstetter and Associates was another one. They're an engineering firm also based in Macon, Georgia. They have worked on over 300 CDBG projects since it was founded in 1982. Their experience is rated as excellent based on the number of recent CDBG projects undertaken. Staffing capacity was rated as excellent based on the number of experienced staff members. And their project approach was rated as excellent based on the well-articulated knowledge of the project approach requirements. The final one was Turnip Seed Engineers. Turnip Seed Engineers was established in 1978 and has over 40 years of experience. They're based in Augusta, Georgia. Their experience was rated as excellent based on their long history of completing engineering projects and has some CDBG experience. Staffing capacity was rated as excellent based on a robust staff with ample experience to support the project. And their project approach was rated as moderate based on general knowledge of engineer roles and responsibilities without additional detail or timing provided. The overall summary Greg provided was that based on the comments above, the local selection review committee scored Hofstetter and Associates as the most qualified firm to undertake engineering work for this project. While not formally part of the scoring, the fee schedule for Ingram and Associates is considerably lower than other respondents, making their firm a good value for the community. And Ingram and Associates also only scored 1 point lower than Hofstetter and Associates, making their firm a good value for the community while still providing excellent and nearly comparable qualifications. This could be highlighted by the community as a reason for the selection of a firm that was not the highest scoring respondent.
Do we have the difference in cost anywhere?
So Ingram and Associates had a lower fee than Hofstetter.
Ingram Associates already has a very,
Well, we don't know what that fee was.
I don't think Greg provided it for me, but I'll look.
I know it didn't weight in the score, but I think for us,
knowledge.
good stewards of the taxpayers' money, that should be at least knowledge of that we
Sure.
know. But even based on that, I noticed that the project approach score, so the experience scored much higher a few points higher for Ingram, and then the project approach was a few points higher for Hofstadter. But then in the overview, it talks about both of those doing many projects. So I'm not sure how the experience or the project approach if they've done a lot of projects, how the project approach, maybe it wasn't spelled out as well in the submittal, or?
So yeah, I do know, I scored all three of these, and I do know Ingram and Associates had a more detailed project approach than Hofstadter and Associates.
So I wonder how they scored lower then in project approach if they didn't have, if they had less details. But anyway, any other, you got anything, Chairman?
I'm just,
And then
Ingram
I think
has
Jones
such
County
a
scored
knowledge of this
higher, or I'm
community.
sorry, Ingram and Associates scored higher due to their experience with Jones County in particular. Not just in the region and with CDBGs, but with Jones County in particular.
like I said, they've got a wealth of knowledge of this community right now, and swapping there'd be a lot of redundancy with a new firm having to come back in and get started. I just, personally, I've seen a good relation with Ingram and Associates and Johnny on the spot, and they're also being a citizen, in this community, they also have a vested interest in seeing that everything's done as efficient as possible, but above and beyond.
Chairman, if a motion's in order based on the experience this county's had with Ingram and Associates, and couple that with the cost savings to the taxpayers, I recommend we go with Ingram and Associates for the CDGB
Second.
engineering.
Second. Any more discussion? None, all in favor, aye? All- Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
We're still here on the logo,
Yes.
rebranding the logo.
Sir.
I understand the regional commissioner can help us on that. We've talked about it.
Yes. Grab that. But basically, I wanted to come and talk about some of the approach to creating the logo that we've been discussing with Jason, and just ask a couple of questions. I don't want to get too much into the weeds tonight, but I just wanted to get your approval of the process and just kind of ask a couple of questions that'll help our IT director and graphic designer a little bit in starting the process. But I know that you guys are interested in creating a new logo, mostly for website, marketing, and for the side of Jones County vehicles. The process that we've kind of generally mapped out is we want to start with a community survey and get the community involved. A lot of the questions we're thinking about is maybe values of Jones County, what community believes the values of Jones County are, maybe what makes them think of Jones County, just kind of get those abstract opinions to kind of help guide us in creating that logo. From there, we'll talk about creating a working group of staff and commissioners and maybe host 1 or 2 work sessions to kind of bounce off some ideas. Then our graphic designer can kind of put some drafts together, maybe get a final public input on those drafts, and then the commission can make a final decision.
I like the idea of putting it out and get some ideas from our community. We did that with the trash thing, and that was great. I don't know that we can do that kind of logo.
Yeah, so, but we're not gonna ask the community to send in sample logos.
That was not part of a process
Yeah.
we discussed.
More
No,
or
we
less,
were
what are
just
your
gonna.
thoughts of Jones County when you?
Yeah,
when you think of
what do
Jones
you
County?
think about when you think Jones County? It might help the work sessions
Yeah,
even
sure.
that you guys host when trying to come up with what it should look like.
Yeah, I agree.
And then a couple of questions I had to ask, just because these things are kind of important in the scheme of things. Are there any color schemes that are important to you guys? High school colors,
Purple and
Jones
gold.
County High School.
Gold.
I just, or if that, we don't want to go purple and gold. If there's any important colors to Jones County, we just wanted to get an input on that.
Purple and gold's the most important color around here, but red and black look real good too.
So I think gold has been,
Gold.
a prominent color
Yeah.
in our
Okay.
logos. And I think that would, black, trim and gold would be good.
And then I'm going to pass
Some kind of purple in there would be good.
around something for the next part of my question. These are just some I think you guys all know what the Jones County looks like, but I printed it off just in case. What you guys have right now on the website. So the reason I'm passing that around is we're kind of wanting to get an idea, and you might not know yet, and that's okay, but do you want the logo to be a little bit more abstract, kind of like what you see, I believe, with Hall County? Or would you rather it be more tangible, like you see with maybe Macon, who just has the fort on theirs? Or even, I think, is it Crawford that's really just very simple with their seal and Crawford County next to it, which I believe is something similar to what you guys have right now. But just kind of getting an idea of if you'd rather have it like very tangible, these are the symbols of Jones County, or would you rather have it a little bit more abstract with different colors, shapes, ideas that represent
the shape of the county. I don't like the busyness of making bib.
Okay.
There's something I see on our current logo, the 1807, but right below that is "In God We Trust."
Okay.
That's something we need to, that's something we need to always remember.
And yeah, do we want wording? Do we want any phrases? Does Jones County have a phrase that they use? Is also an important thing.
I think "In God We Trust" is fine that way.
Because I know you can see like
Get
Twiggs
to-
County, very obvious. They have the Georgia shape, and they say they are the geographic center of Georgia because they're very proud of that, and they have that on theirs.
And then Crawford, that's the old courthouse that's there in Knoxville.
And then the final question: are there any symbols that you would believe to be important to be included? And if we can always get that from the survey as well,
Yeah,
if people start.
options could be some kind of historical markers, flags, buildings, whatever.
Okay.
I do like Fayette County's clock tower there. I think that's pretty prominent in the county, the courthouse clock tower and steeple.
Right, so what will happen next is we'll start drafting a survey, and we'll probably work on that along with Jason and the rest of our staff at the MGRC and get a draft of the survey to you guys soon. And then we'll start with the scheduling work group sessions after that.
Well, if we can go and make this official and get a motion to work with regional
I make a
commission.
motion that we work with the rebranding and logo with Tiffany and the Middle Georgia Regional Commission.
Second.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
So Chairman, some of the logos shouldn't be what's going on at the bypass. That doesn't have to be on our. Sorry, I had to.
When's Chick-fil-A coming?
Yeah, when Chick-fil-A is on the way.
Where's the Walmart going?
Thank
Well,
y'all.
thank you very much. We got you out of here in good time too, didn't we? All right. Mutual aid. Mr. Jarrett's not here. You going?
So the coroner had contacted me a week or so ago and said there's a period of time coming up where there may be, just due to people being out of town, no coverage, and so he was trying to come up with a solution for that, and that may not happen, but he's just trying to plan ahead there. One option is to do a mutual aid agreement with a neighboring county, similar to what we do with fire departments and that type of thing. He said that state law does permit that to be done, and so in your packet there you have an agreement between him and the Bibb County coroner. Actually, one question: Does this board need to approve that agreement, or is it something that the two coroners?
We approve all the other mutual aid agreements.
Yeah.
So I think we need to, don't we need to reach out to the area counties to see if, they have any interest, or before we just go one way? I've seen about Bibb, I know Bibb County, they're staying busy, so.
Yeah. They may be backed up.
They might need some mutual aid from us.
It might be us that going there.
And, Mr. Chairman, it would be nice if Mr. Jarrett was here, the coroner was here, we could possibly ask some questions.
Right.
But it's kind of hard to approve something with him not here.
There's no
He's got
assistant to
two,
it,
right?
Stacy one?
He's got two deputies, I think.
I mean, 3 for Jones County is,
They got 3 for Bibbs, and you got 3 for Jones. I think that's.
yeah.
But didn't you say something, there's a time that all three of them are out of town at the same time?
Potentially, I
Potentially.
think, yeah.
That's a scheduling issue.
Yeah, that's a management schedule.
Do we know when
Yeah.
that might be? Is this something that we can bring back at the next meeting, or has it got to be?
I can look back for his email real quick. I think it was, I think it's right around New Year's.
May have to have a call meeting on that.
I think a concern, I mean, not to knock a neighboring county, is a mutual aid. They expect that to go both ways. And you're gonna have a lot more calls in Bibb than you've got coming out of Jones, thank God.
Does it have a sunset on it, or is it 1 year, or is it until the, from now on? Man, it's small and light print.
I haven't seen it. Where's it
Page 15.
Yeah, I don't see a time.
Joe, young guys, see if y'all can see anything on that.
So he said in his email to me that the deputy that typically covers the daytime hours will be out of town the first week of the year. And I think that's the time period he was concerned with.
It says that this respective government bodies of the parties and shall continue until December the 31st of that calendar year. This agreement shall be reviewed and renewed annually by the parties on January the 1st of each year thereafter, unless such time the written notice of termination.
Yeah, I can't read it. I don't know if it says will respond if available, or, you know, will we respond anytime they ask us to, or?
It says each party, up under adequate coverage of own jurisdiction, each party is responsible for providing adequate coverage of its own jurisdiction. Each party's foremost responsibility is to its own citizens. When a party is unable to honor a request for aid and assistance, the party will immediately inform the party requesting aid that it will not be able to provide mutual aid.
So if one's out of town during the day, the other two can't. On the day.
Apparently not. I don't know.
Got Bibb is the highest
Sorry?
murder rate they've ever had, I think.
Two yesterday?
Yeah.
Three or four last night, one the night before. I don't see why we can't reach out to all our neighboring counties to see if we can do just like Don does with the EMA and whatnot, as far as working together. And,
Right.
and
Yeah,
that's
as
what
a
I'm just
mutual
thinking.
aid.
It's like overlapping coverage.
Yeah.
Because what if it's 1 mile from the Baldwin County line? Are we
Right.
still
You got
gonna-
Baldwin, yeah,
Who
I
is
think,
the-
I think
who
we
is
need to
this
reach
two
out to all our
backups?
neighboring counties and,
Wayne Greer and
Stacy?
Stacy. What I'm hearing, Wayne is getting married.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where Stacy is, and I don't know where Jared. This is the
Okay.
first I've seen this. I know that Wayne's getting married, and that's all I know. So he's going away probably. There's a management problem there. And I'm not putting it down, I'm just,
right,
it's something we could take care of our own,
yeah,
be it with the sheriff's office or whatever,
right.
the death investigation.
So we wouldn't have to basically work with the adjoining county, that we could do it ourselves, is that what you're telling us?
That's that's me personally,
Oh,
yes, sir.
all right,
That's how I feel about it.
all right.
We take care of our own.
So we're able, I guess legally to do that?
Who's that?
To your knowledge, we're legally able to do that?
Absolutely.
Well, it sounds like to me we got this figured out already, we can do it in-house.
Well, and each party shall pay the salaries, benefits, and all other compensation of its own personnel without cost to the other party. So, say we enter this, and all of a sudden they're getting calls going to Bibb. Our personnel bills us for their time, they're not gonna do it for free.
Per death certificate?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But the body.
But they're gonna wanna be paid, and this says each pays for their own personnel regardless. So if we start rendering aid to Bibb, are we gonna receive the bill for that?
Am I out of line saying we could do this in-house and vote on it now to cover these positions in the event we have to?
I agree, I think it's a management I mean, you've got three
Just
persons.
me, I would have the coroner come in and explain why and what will
Right.
happen in the sequence that occurs.
Mr. Chairman,
We can certainly put somebody temporarily in there from
Right.
Jones County that,
Yeah.
will take care of it.
Go ahead, Commissioner Wood first.
I think we need to postpone this until we can get the coroner standing at the podium and ask questions.
Yes, sir.
All right. It'll work.
That's your motion.
That's my motion.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. I hear you, Commissioner Wood. We got you on a road now. You ready to go too?
This business.
All right, Mr. Graham, we got a safer grant.
Hold on.
No,
What-
he's
what-
already signed this agreement.
Huh?
He signed this
You
agreement on
can't sign that.
December.
I gotta sign it.
He signed it on December the 2nd.
I thought I had to sign it.
It says coroner, Jones County.
But he signed it before you sent it to me.
Yeah.
Don't I sign all your mutual agreements, Don?
Sir,
Don't I sign all your mutual agreements?
absolutely yes.
Well, I don't know that.
I mean,
Alright.
I don't think he should sign on behalf of binding the county to this without it coming before this board.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Stepped ahead of us.
He's not elected.
Mm-hmm.
Leon signed it.
Constitutional.
Leon signed it.
That's it, right? That's it, right?
That's his chicken
He still
scratch.
can't bind.
It is.
He's still binding the county to a mutual
Right.
aid agreement with another county. Yeah.
We still got to, we can postpone it. Well, he needs to come before us and explain. I mean, have something backing up why he could do it. Because like I said, that's why I asked Don. I've always had to sign all of his.
It's not been approved by
All right,
Okay.
we're good to go?
Yep.
All right, I'm glad you saw that. I didn't get to the last page. All right, safer grant. Mr. Graham?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, I'll start with some introductory stuff, and then y'all can ask Don all the hard questions.
Sure.
We've talked previously about the SAFER grant that provides funding for firefighting positions, and the board during the budget process approved those positions, and then we kind of got to looking at the SAFER grant, and that would be a great way for us to save money for 3 years on those positions. The grant application period typically opens in January, and so we're working, getting ready for that. In terms of who writes the grant, there are kind of three options that have come to us here, and we wanted to present those to the board and just get your direction on that. One, the regional commission has written these grants for other communities. There are professional grant writers out there. Don was
Right.
recently contacted by one. He has information on that he can present that do it on a percentage basis. One other option, Commissioner Kitchen's wife has written these previously in previous positions and has offered to help for no charge. And so we could do it, we could write it internally with her assistance and submit it. I guess it would be submitted under my name. So there are three different options there. We wanted to present all that to you and just ask for the board's direction on that. We anticipated opening sometime right after the first of the year, so we just want to be ready to go when that time comes.
You said it just fine, sir. The Middle Georgia Regional Commission, Mr. Boykin, is that the way he pronounces it? Boyke. The night that I came to the board to ask if we could go for the SAFER grant, Mr. Boyke was here, and after it was approved, I asked him, "Were you guys interested in writing our grant?" And he said, Yes, absolutely yes. So we didn't know exactly when it was going to open. Typically around January, but in meantime, I had a fella drop by the office during this, it's been several months ago, by the name of Robert Davidson. He's a firefighter out of Allentown. He's an older fella, retired, but he's a volunteer down in that area down there. This was the first time I ever met him, and I don't know how he got I don't know if he's watching or what, but he popped in my office. I didn't know anybody knew anything about us going for the Safer Grant until he pops in the office and said, I heard you going for it. So anyway, he sent me 2 letters saying that he would be willing to do it. He said that the way he does he's got a 98% approval of getting these grants. To my understanding, he worked several years for the FEMA. He was one of the proctors that approved these grants. So, which made me a little bit uneasy there, but evidently he's retired from all that now. But anyway, he charges 5%, is with the first letter that I got from him. And he followed up with a phone call yesterday to me. I don't know if he's getting our agendas or what, but he calls me at the nick of time, knowing that I'm coming to a meeting tonight. Anyway, I got a letter yesterday afternoon saying that he would go 3%. Well, I think all in all, this 3-year grant will, if we get it, we will save the taxpayers $1.6 to $1.8 million. If we go by what we were budgeted, 602, 603, something like that. So, I can't imagine even 3%. That's going to be over $50,000. I've got reservations about that, but he still is asking if he could do it. And then Miss Kitchens, I talked to her a few times, and she is very eager to do this and help us. She's been here just about all of her life, married life anyway, and she's very interested in our department. So I don't know how to address this. The two that come to my liking is the regional commission and Miss Kitchens, and this other guy. I just I can't see paying for something like that. That would be hard to come by. $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. That's a lot of money to write a grant. But if it's at savings, that's why I bring it to you guys. I hate to have to make that choice, but.
Before we tap Ms. Ashley, what's your thought? Conflict of interest, or we're all right?
We're not paying her. She's doing it for free. I think that
I
would.
appreciate that. I mean,
Right.
That's
And with her experience, I mean, it's a professional service. It would be a conflict, I think, if it was a
if we
paid.
paid her right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the regional commission, is that part of our annual dues, or would it be an additional cost for them to do it?
I'd have to ask. It varies from thing to
Right.
thing. So, like, the logo thing, that's covered under our annual dues. The administration on the CDBG at the health department was not. That's a separate fee. And so I'd have to ask them on something like this. I'm not sure.
I know the regional folks, they charged. I've had to do in the last 14 years. I've had to do 3 disaster mitigation plans. You got, by law, you got to do one every 5 years. And the first year they charged us $7,500 the first time, $12,000 the second time, this at 10 years, And then we just finished up another one. It was, actually, I got $16,000 from FEMA, but all of it didn't go to them. It was, I think it was like $13,000 this go round. So answering Jason, I think that it may be an extra fee. I just don't know. He just said he'd be willing to do it, what Mr. Bill Boyke said, so.
We've done many a project on public-private partnership, and this is a perfect example.
I just want to plug in the numbers and whoever we select that get it going, because this is important.
It's a
We could
three-
save this
It's
money.
a 3-year grant.
Yes, sir.
What is
It's-
the reporting requirements on it?
That I don't know.
Because I think it's probably just an annual reporting time that, but once you submit it, you would be able to
Yeah.
update that annually or whatever. So
It's every quarter. Yeah, you spit them out some numbers, what we're doing with it, an activity sheet more or less, how many you hiring, how many you firing, whatever. It's like the other federal grants that we've gotten before, and it's we're used to it. Every quarter, sending in something, and
'Cause that's where most of them want that admin cost, is for them to, every quarter, to send them reports and calculate.
That's it.
Capture the information. But if we're doing that in-house anyway, and there's, to me, if there's no cost with regional commission, then it's just a toss-up. I mean, that's experience on both of them. They've both done the exact same thing.
Commissioner Wood, Commissioner Vaughn, what's y'all's thoughts?
I like free.
Like I said, I got you and Commissioner Wood. Commissioner Kitchens needs to abstain at this time, so which,
I make a motion that we go with Ms. Kitchens in writing the safer grant for Jones County.
I was going to have a question about if we did reach back out to the regional commission, what kind of time frame to write the grant? Would we still have enough time before the closing date so we don't miss the application process?
January the 9th is when it's supposed to come open.
Okay, so
It'll be open for probably 2 to 3 weeks from there, and they'll have a closing date when they pull up on January 9th, say it's open, they'll give us a closing date right there, so.
Have plenty of qualified people. I just kind of
Sure.
curious what the regional commission, if it is included in what we already pay each year, then it's kind of just a toss-up. We have 2 equally qualified groups or people that could do it.
That's why I brought it to y'all. It's a tough decision, but it's a no-brainer. This will probably be one of the biggest projects that I've worked on in the last 15 years, because it's 1 point. So, these ones that are $500,000, it's different. This is 3 years of 100% that we don't have to pay back.
Sure.
That's a deal.
all right, we have a motion,
I'll second it.
okay? Any more discussion? If none, all in favor, aye? Aye. Ayes have it. Mr. Kitchen had to abstain, that's correct.
Okay, sure.
Great,
Thank y'all.
thank you.
I didn't want to make that
Tell your
hard. I
wife we
appreciate it.
Jason can tell her.
Huh?
Jason can tell her. Because
I'll
she ain't
tell
happy,
her.
I ain't dealing with it.
You ain't dealing with, you ain't getting involved, eh?
No, sir.
I like
I've
that.
seen some of the stuff she's worked with, and I know she'll do a great job.
I don't think I'll put that last comment.
I'm going to tell her anyway.
Mr. Stark, we got one bid for our fire hydrants. What happened?
Well, as you know, we have one bid here. I'm coming in front of y'all to ask that we deny this one bid and reopen. It was extremely high, the one bid that we have from a company that no one's ever heard of. It was double what we had quoted and budgeted for. I would like to reopen it. I think what happened, I was too specific with the brand that I wanted, so I have consolidated into 3 brands that are more widely available on the market and try to reopen it this way if I have y'all's approval.
He needs more.
Motion to
precedent.
reject the one bid, Chairman, and go back out for bid and revise the scope of services.
Yep.
Second.
Second, any more discussion? Oh, we got All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. All right,
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Lowe, Ms. Risner, we got some issues with drainage in Kingsview Village.
I'll start, John. if you want.
thing was built like 50 years, I guess you want.
Oh, yeah.
Where the drainage is between houses, and there's trees that's 50 years old, so you know they pretty big.
Yeah.
But I think before anything needs to be done, I think we need to get a engineer to, because I don't want to be getting, we're probably going to get on other people's land to get in there on some of it, because the easements ain't but like 5 foot, some of them's 10, some of them's 20. I think some of them might be 30.
And some of those are very low-lying areas where the water is pooling into. Because all of it runs down
Oh, all of it runs
Into it.
down.
into two of those cul-de-sacs right in there.
Most water does.
Ha, ha, ha. That whole subdivision is like this.
Yeah.
I mean,
And for all these
did you
years
give them one of
also-
these?
Oh, he got it up there right now.
So this one doesn't show, what John's got there shows easements, and we're still researching to confirm that they're our responsibility. But Commissioner Martin, what's that?
That's what
Yeah.
I was gonna ask. How do we
so-
know this is our responsibility?
Well, it was
So-
the city of Macon until it was the
Consolidation.
consolidation, and then it got handed back to Jones County, correct? Because you was all in that.
And so this is something that Commissioner Martin's been talking to John and I about for some time, and he asked us to get some pricing on the pipe
know
work
this
and the
street.
removal of
This
the
is
trees
over here.
back through those ditches that John was talking about.
I
John was able to talk to a tree contractor, and that was just kind of a budget number was like $4,500 a day, and there's a lot of days worth of work back in there. And so, we just wanted to come to the board and say, look, is this something that y'all want us to move forward with? John might have mentioned this, but I think our recommendation would be to work with Tim and kind of put together a scope of work on both the tree removal and the pipe replacement. Yeah. It's going to be a substantial project. If Brendan's here,
I need to look.
he's got not a similar situation, but the type of work would be similar up in River North with sewer easements. And so if it's something where the board wants to put together a scope of work and bid it out, I would recommend including some of that River North sewer easement work at the same time.
So is it stormwater?
Yes.
So what water customers are they?
City type.
What's that now?
Who are are they our water customers?
Yeah, Kingsview.
Is it still Macon Water
Macon
Authority?
Water
Macon
Authority.
Water Authority water
So-
customers.
They should be
Should
paying a
be.
stormwater fee to maintain that.
I think since it's no longer incorporated into, I don't know.
The stormwater, I'm 99% sure the stormwater fee contract says if you are served and you are paid, otherwise if they're not, we can look on one of them's bill, if they're not paying $4.99 a month, then they're probably not, but if they're paying $4.99 a month, they ought to be
That's
covered
all
under that.
Right.
Macon Water Authority's new storm, their new division has that.
Yeah. Let's find that out pretty quick.
This may be their project.
That'd be good. Because this stuff ain't never been maintained.
I guess you can do a special service district type thing for
So,
any area, but
so I don't think their districts are covered by county lines because they do it here, they do it in Twiggs, they do it in Monroe County. The agreement to run water lines and so it's, yeah, I know they can. Now, whether they've got a reason why they don't have to might be different, but.
okay. Yeah, we can check into that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely figure out there.
Won't we table
Customers
this
paying
one
for
and
that.
postpone this one until we
Yeah,
can,
I'll shoot you, the director.
While our
stormwater
attorney looks
director's number.
into it also.
Yes, please.
Don't tell him I told you to call him.
Ms. Owen, you want to table it?
I make a motion to table this
Or
until we can.
postpone.
Motion to
Excuse me, I give you the
postpone.
wrong thing.
Sorry, motion to postpone until we can look into it further.
Second.
Second, on favor, aye?
Aye.
I have, thank you. It'd be nice if we didn't have to do it, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Real
I mean,
nice.
this is hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of.
It's a lot of
Yeah, we
work.
need to make
Oh,
sure it's
yeah.
our responsibility.
I mean, when
cause
he's
I
talking about
guarantee you there's a
training,
lot of
right,
pipes
he's-
in there that's deteriorated.
Well, even if y'all remove this one, I still need my notes.
Still need what?
Another day. So I still have plenty right away that need to be done.
Okay.
We'll cross that bridge
But you don't have stormwater in it, right?
Not stormwater, just sewer and water.
Shouldn't say. We don't have any stormwater fees.
All right, well, first meeting next year, we'll go ahead and
We'll cross that.
address that one. How's that?
If we're ready for it.
If we're ready for it.
That, yeah, that's more like.
Put that on.
Yeah,
our
it's something,
agenda, too.
we're researching some things with that one.
Okay, all right.
No,
Well,
I don't,
when y'all say we're ready for it, we'll put it on the agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ooh, sounds smart. I say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Yes, dear. Convenience, the Christmas schedule for our convenience centers.
And also, I wanna bring up about New Year's too, cause
Falls at the same
it
time.
falls on Sunday too. So, I like for them to be closed that Sunday. If y'all want us to open them up Monday, we just need to know so we can get everything scheduled for them to open up Monday. Cause you know they usually closed on Mondays.
I
Are they
think,
fully supervised whenever they're opened?
Yeah.
I mean, somebody's.
Somebody's
in the
there.
center.
Yeah, at all of them, yeah.
we talked about that before, and there's a lot of stuff that goes along with that. Not being somebody there, like liability issues, and somebody getting hurt. Chairman, my opinion is I don't think we should go more than 2 days right after Christmas without having them open, because we get all those complaints about all my Christmas wrapping stuff. I need to, it fills up quick. So I would think if we're gonna be closed,
It'll close down Saturday and then they'll be closed Sunday.
yeah, so I think it needs to be open Monday if we're not gonna open Sunday. But I agree, most of them will be with their family Saturday and Sunday, and I think that's right.
Need a motion to address that.
Y'all wanna go
And
over
talk
it?
about New Year's.
It's the same, same thing
Mirror
on
New Year's as Christmas.
Okay, just
Same
include it in the
schedule.
motion.
Y'all agree with that, Wendy?
I do. I remember the day and times where they would open them up late on Christmas afternoon for the trash to go. So, but that was when there was not. They weren't supervised. They were just the gates were open to go throw your trash away, and then closed a few hours later.
The motion would be to have all the centers closed on Saturday and Sunday, Christmas Eve. and
So you
Christmas
want them
Day.
closed Saturday and Sunday?
You were just talking about Sunday.
Yeah, I
He was
think
just talking about Sunday.
They're open but they're gonna be open on Saturday, Christmas
We'll be
Eve.
open on Saturday,
Yeah.
but closed just one day at now. He's already said, taking it down 2 days, don't,
Well, no, if we closed on Sunday, they're closed on Monday, so it would be Tuesday before you got your truckload of wrapping paper to the trash dump,
stay open Saturday
and open on Monday.
and open on Monday and they have Sunday off.
Do they have Friday off because the county's closed?
See, and that's what I was getting at, that the county's getting Friday and then their normal Saturday and Sunday holiday, so they're getting 3-day weekends there.
So you
And-
could flip it for the convenience and have them open Friday and Monday and close Saturday and Sunday.
Y'all just tell me, and we'll set it up.
I do like the idea of saying closed on Saturday and Sunday.
Right,
So
because we're
that
gonna
they-
close it.
'cause
Saturday.
they're
That's
open on
Christmas Eve
Friday.
and Christmas.
Right,
Right.
we're open on Friday and then close.
So what
let
you
them
wanna do
be-
New Year's?
Same thing.
Saturday and Sunday?
Just
Okay.
need to make sure we well advertise it so we don't have people
Oh,
driving
yeah.
to the gates and
Maybe
mad
we could
people
get some help on
Facebook.
that.
Maybe.
Well, I try really hard to get this information. John knows I call him at home.
And send pictures of where she posted it. She makes sure we know.
So close Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah.
and then open up on Mondays, both of them,
Right.
And Friday and Monday.
and Friday. Well, we open Friday anyway.
Right, but the county offices are closed that Friday.
I know, but most of these are part-time people
Yeah.
and that's running them.
So make the
I think the lady, we got
I
one
make-
lady that's, and she's up at Upper River Road, but she's gonna be off that Friday, so.
I make a motion for us to be closed on Saturday, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, and,
I was, but she just gonna go right on, so I'm gonna second.
yeah, I get tired of him over there. I make a motion for the convenience centers to be closed on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And opened on the following Monday when they're normally closed,
And the preceding Friday.
Okay.
and the Friday before.
I'm not gonna second it. I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
You got that?
That was more than you bargained
so?
for.
Saturday and
You ready?
Sunday, 24th, 25th, 31st, 1st.
And back open on the,
Open every other day except normal
Yeah.
hours.
we'll be out, open on Monday and Monday preceding each holiday, each.
Next.
Okay.
All right.
Probation.
Probation contract on Superior and probate. Mr. Risner, I know we have the judge here, but
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I'll try to cover it, and if again, if y'all have difficult questions, we,
I'm sure the
Ask
judge
the
is dying to speak.
so, and I had an error there on the agenda, is Superior and Probate Court, that are up for renewal. So probation for those two are, provided by, a private probation company. The contract with that company is now up for renewal. In talking with Judge Patterson, they're doing a good job, and so his recommendation is that we go ahead and renew those contracts. So that's what we would recommend for you tonight.
And those contracts are of no cost to the county.
any
I make a
questions?
motion to go with the probation contracts for Superior and
Probate.
Probate, Court
Okay.
at Georgia Probation Management Contract.
Second.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Uh,
Yeah, all right. Mr. Well, I seen you sneak in.
Yeah, I was fixing to say, where's Will? I saw him sneaking in.
Office 365
Implementation.
whatever. Y'all get it for me.
How are y'all doing?
Good.
Good,
All right.
sir.
So, what has happened is I've gotten some of our dates mixed up on a server and our end of life for Exchange 2013. I had thought for the last 12 months that we had another year on our Exchange 2013 platform. We do not. It goes into life April 11th of 2023, and we're gonna have to do something. I proposed to Jason that we just go ahead and make the transition to Microsoft Office 365. That will be the county's first foray into the cloud, and just wanted to get your thoughts on it.
I love it.
I love it
Every day.
too. I was going to say you can't go wrong with it. I've even went on the cloud at home,
You
all
log
my
in,
personal
log
stuff
into one place and all your stuff's there.
there.
Yeah, and Microsoft is
No
they are
huge
slowly
servers.
transitioning to a subscription-based platform for just about all their products. I mean, they're not there yet, but they're slowly going that way. So,
And most applications are now going cloud-based
right.
around, I mean, for anything. I mean, I sent you something today on fuel pump for things. It's cloud-based.
Well, I mean, we'll have a pretty big stake in the cloud. I mean, our whole entire Active Directory will be sitting on the Azure database. So, I mean, we're going to be fully into it.
And the security there is,
There will have to be some upgrades. We will be switching over to multi-factor authentication. People are not going to like that. but
Well, it's gonna cut down a lot of what they can do while they're at work on computers and those kind of things.
right, and that's a discussion that we'll have to have with Jason. If they're at home, there's no choice. They've got to do multi-factor if they're at home accessing anything related to their work. Now, locally, you don't have to. I recommend it, but there's a lot of county governments that don't do it. So, again, that'll have to be a conversation, that we have to have with Jason and you all, again. But I recommend it, but,
Are you gonna get back with us with pricing?
I've got it.
Okay.
So, right now, I've got, for a G3 license, which is about middle of the road for Microsoft Office 365, every user gets a 100 gig mailbox, which is a lot for a mailbox. Unlimited cloud storage within reason. And of course, access to all the Microsoft Office platforms, Word, Excel, Teams, all that stuff. Yep. We have 56 of those users that would require one of those licenses. It's $264 a user per year, so we're looking at right around close to $15,000 a year for those users. Now, we do have users that require a mailbox, and so the exchange would be going along with this. Those users are roughly $105 a year. We have 60 of those, so you're looking at right at $6,300. So you're looking at a yearly, renewable cost every year of, close to $22,000. For the migration, I have contacted a company out of Valdosta. They have offered to help us with the migration. This is a pretty big migration. They're charging us $10,000 for the migration. That's turnkey solution. They help with everything from the authentication to putting it on everybody's phones, just, whatever we need them to do.
That's 54 users that have to have it, or just what we have now? Is there any paring down some of those, or is there all?
That is pared down.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's 56 users for the G3 and 60 for the G1. Now, the G1 is a little watered down. They get a 50 gig mailbox. They still get access to, they get Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and they receive about a terabyte of OneDrive storage. So,
What you run into that I've seen with that though, Will, is when you start specialty applications, like if you have, and the courts might run into this when you have DocuSigns stuff. A lot of times you'll copy and paste something. You have to have an alternate application for that, and especially if you're going from a PDF to SharePoint or something
Right.
like that. It'll say you need to upload this, or you need to download this application for it.
Right.
We've run into that a lot, and I think that was one of our issues between the G1 and G3. You get a little
Okay.
bit more with the G3.
right, you do. And, the G1 licenses, I would say, I don't have an exact number, but I would say 99% of them don't access a machine here. They just need a Outlook Exchange mailbox. So, there is a license that is below the G1, but everything I've looked at is that if we want to upgrade it, like say if that user ever decides like, hey, I need a little bit more, it is very hard. It's very hard to upgrade them from that base license to that G1.
One question, do they have the analytics in this to show how many people are actually using, I know in ours, how many people are actually using 365? because that was what when we were transitioning over, we had about 60% of the people using it
Mhm.
all the time, the one login, and then the rest of them weren't. So we were paying for a license for 150 users, and 75 of them weren't using it, the Office 365.
Right.
And which made no sense. They were getting the benefit of the storage in the cloud,
Right.
and the email server, but they weren't using the platform. So it was like,
I'm sure there is. The licenses that we have for the 56 users, I know they're going to be using. They got to use it. I
Right.
mean, they log into, a machine, every day. I mean, that's everybody from the courthouse, the water department, here. I mean, they're not going to have a choice. They're going to have to use it. I mean, because we're going to remove the local 2013 copy of Office, and they're not going to have a choice.
so if you're putting, if you're putting some of your apps inside of Office 365
Like what?
or off your a Munis,
Oh, well, yeah, we're not getting into that. We're not going to.
so all those icons are still going to be on your desktop, and you go into those separately.
Right.
It's not
yeah.
a one-stop shop.
Yeah. We're not going to be hosting Tyler from Azure. No. We're not getting into that.
So your Tyler will be cloud-based, it's
no,
already?
no. Tyler is going to remain local.
Okay,
No,
so it'll
we
be
are not.
on your servers.
Right.
Your
yeah.
Tyler is,
There's
okay.
I mean, we have people that can access Tyler remotely. We don't have many, and we would like to keep it that way. When you start doing that kind of thing, you start getting into.
Because that's where all
Adding-
of our financial is too, so
right.
you're keeping that.
Yeah, we're
secure
not
under our
doing anything
servers.
like that. Right.
Then you may be all right with the G1s on most of them. Then,
Yeah,
Yeah, for the folks that don't need huge mailboxes,
Right.
for people that don't access Teams a whole lot,
like Jeremy back there, I'm just gonna throw you under the bus right quick. He wouldn't need a G1, he just needs a mailbox to answer his mail, right?
Right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Sorry, Jeremy.
But if he ever did need more, it would be very
His
easy.
G1 would be there, so.
Right. And G1 offers, some small, what's a watered down G3 license basically.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, we need to have a motion to implement this and a budget amendment
Yes.
at the same time.
Will and Levita work together on the budget piece of it, and they've identified funds that are available now in the IT budget that can be moved around to cover that.
Yes,
And-
we did. I talked to her, and we have identified ways to pay for this.
But we
So-
don't need a budget amendment.
I think you can include that in the motion just
All right.
to make sure that's
If
covered.
needed.
Who wants to do that?
I make a motion that we start the implementation of the Office 365
With the budget amendment.
with a budget that has been amended as needed.
Okay.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Second. Any more discussion? None, all in favor, aye? That's it. Thank
Okay.
you, Will.
Hey, thank y'all. Okay.
I missed it. The rotary phones still work, don't they? I like my rotary phone. It was like, it's simpler. At least I know what you're talking about with them. Ms. Wagner, we need to postpone on certification if I could get them. She's not ready to that.
Make a motion to postpone.
Get a second. All in favor, aye? Let's have it. All right, Mr. Ingram, we got a pavement evaluation proposal.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Last month, we brought 2 pavement evaluation proposals to y'all. One was First Step Pavement Management through Robert Civil Engineering out of St. Simons. The question came back, will they generate a map that is color-coded based off the distress of the road? And they will. And that is something it'll come to the county in a Excel spreadsheet or something Jason could update, I could update. Their fee was $29,600 to do that work. The second proposal came from Public Works One. They're a cloud-based company. Their proposal was
67.5.
$67,500, thank you. And that was to do a inventory of the roads at 33,750, and then start building a map through Ezra, utilizing Ezra. That was 33,750. The question with them, typically either one of these, you're going to update it, have somebody come in and update every 3 to 5 years. Their cost to update is going to be at least 33,750 because they'll rewrite all the roads. The one issue we did find out about, if the board wished to, you could pay for this with LMIG money. So it would not necessarily come out of the Public Works budget. But those were our two questions we were tasked with going and finding out about.
Did you all have a recommendation, Tim, or?
I could ask the same question. What's your recommendation?
Honestly, don't know. It really depends on where you want to go. Public Works One is going to build a database. You're still, in 3 to 5 years, going to come back and update it. They're going to come ride the roads again. The pavement, the first step pavement management is going to build a database, except it's going to be on an external drive about the size of your phone. You'll be able to take it and plug it in, update the spreadsheets however you want to, and in 3 to 5 years, they're going to come back and ride all your roads again.
Well, when Will gets us unlimited cloud storage, we can just download it from our little drive onto our server, right?
You'd be able to, yes.
Win-win. More cheaper, more better.
Yeah, I like that. You learning.
Would we be able to, like, when we've paved these, will we be able to go in there and change that
Yes,
on this?
we will be able
So
to.
this would be a program that we can manipulate and
Correct.
change when the improvements are made.
Right. It is, I went and met them and looked at it. It is an Excel spreadsheet that's integrated. It's got the mapping. You click on the map, brings up the spreadsheet. You can look at it. But the file will come on an external hard drive. It's about that size. And then you can do whatever you want to with it. So.
What's y'all's thoughts?
I'm liking the 29.6, because 3 to 5 years, we pay another 29.6 to have it re-road the road and rewrite the right.
Yeah, reevaluation.
So is that a motion?
Motion, Chairman, to accept the Roberts Civil Engineering price of 29.6 for the pavement evaluation.
Second.
Second. Any more discussion? None, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
I have it. Thank you, Tim.
Just for a point of reference, everybody has 4 11 by 17 pages from us.
Okay.
This is the bid tabulation for the 22 LMIG project. It's all the different roads we had, including the rec department and the animal shelter. The sidewalks for the rec department and the animal shelter. And then we did some add alternates for concrete patio at the rec department, and then an asphalt patio at the rec department, and then some sod to go along those walkways to back where they would be backfilled and grassed. Just for your information. Jason redid the 22-23 LMIG applications. They have been approved. And looking, that's the last page. And so as y'all look at projects, we have $1,771,122 to spend on these projects. $1,771,122.
And then if I could add one thing to that, Tim,
Go
real
ahead,
quick.
sir.
We do have, there was money appropriated in the general fund budget for the walkways at Highway 18. It's not enough to cover what's here, but there was some money there that'll be available to go to that portion of this. There's also some 2015 SPLOST money that we were going to use on last year's LMIG that went unspent, and so there's some funds available there, maybe $150,000. Well, I'll get you an exact number when we have this at the meeting on the 3rd. But so there are a couple other pots of money that we'll be able to pull from for a couple of these projects.
One thing that stands out, Chairman, for me was if we got, I think you said, just rough estimates, 150,000 in 2015 SPLOST, and we've been working on roads, LMIG, since then. I'm just looking at if we want to make a difference in the rec center and the animal shelter, that would be pretty close to the 150,000 there, and then everything else go towards roads. I think would be I think that Highway 18, we're all getting calls about that. We got to do something about that.
Well, those two projects together would be 152.
Right.
So,
I think that's a good
Be a good fit.
choice of spending, yeah, my opinion.
so if you sit down and look at these, we included the very first section, items 1, 2, and 3, mobilization to Jones County bonding and insurance, that $85,100.
And all of them. Oh, and
If whatever group of roads you decide to do, you have to add that 85. And I would encourage you, after riding these roads, if you did 1, 2, and 3, Morris Stevens, Dine Smith Road, that does not burn up all your money. You still have about $460,000 left. So there's several of these roads you could go through: Whitehead, Liberty, Walnut Ridge, they're Bethune. There's several of these roads you can knock out with these 2 years together. All right. So we'll see you next month to formally present this.
So I think Commissioner Martin, on his behalf, I know he's been asking about the roads that were up and down on the list over the years. Is this the priority, or is this just the way we bid them?
This is the priority.
Okay.
This is the way we got them through the emails and the different projects. This is the way we listed them.
Because I was looking back at I pulled some files and started looking back, 5 or 6 years of the list, and I don't know how we done. I think it was a question 5 years ago of how did these roads get like this, on the list like this, and nobody had an answer. And then we went back and started grading them.
Yes.
And it moved some of them around. So now
That's
it looks like we moved some in front of others, but we based that off of
Grades.
the knowledge and grading that we
Right.
had at the time.
And I think a couple roads came to the board's attention that were in bad shape and
Yeah,
and
and
were
had
added
not
in
been
a couple
graded.
cases. Maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
maybe
correct.
not been
That's
graded,
correct.
but they come to our attention. With that being said, I do think maybe if we got extra, I don't say extra money, but if we got more project from this budget, then maybe we look at, maybe we look at roads that were up on the list and somehow got moved down, like a Bethune. If that can be fit in, it's number 7, can be moved up to number 5. That might.
It's been talked about for
Right,
years.
and that gets us buyback from the public too, that was expecting something.
Well, on these roads, Morris Stevens, y'all know, it's in bad shape because of the problems. Smith Road is a safety issue. Dye Road, we have 300 tons of patching because there are sections in it that are messed up, that are tore up. Beyond that, I couldn't tell you one from the other. I've wrote them all, looked at all of them. I couldn't tell you which one was the worst. But the first 3 that were bid, and which were the first 3 that were submitted,
Those are a given, huh?
Those,
Yeah.
I think those are the worst three you have.
Okay.
Thank you. And thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Start with department head. How about from the city? Mayor Pro Tem, you, the mayor's left, you're left. You got anything you want to,
He tagged me in, but I'm just here to say hey.
all right, well, you know you're always welcome.
Yes, sir, I appreciate it.
Let's see, I didn't miss any debate. Don?
Is this our last meeting
Yep.
for the month?
Yeah, we canceled the last one.
Okay, it's been a good year, y'all, another year.
Don't jinx us.
Thank y'all for the support.
Thank you.
And the new trucks are in service, so
Woo-hoo.
we got a training session scheduled for next month that will be integrated with the city, with our trucks, in case we need help. So,
Yep, good deal. How's the water department doing?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'll see y'all.
Public Works about the same way?
Yep. Appreciate y'all.
And this rain's killing him on them dirt roads, I can go ahead and tell you.
That's all right.
We've kept him busy.
All right.
We're gonna be busy tomorrow and Thursday.
Yeah, all this rain we've had. Mr. Risner?
I'm good.
Legal?
Nothing.
He was saying, wow. Citizen comments tonight. Mr. Kitchens, you want to start us on?
I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas, safe and prosperous New Year.
Mr. Wood?
I'll echo Sam. I hope everybody has a happy holiday season, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate, and a safe and happy New Year.
Same here. Merry Christmas and thank y'all so much for what you do for this county.
Hope to see everybody on the 13th at the Christmas parade. Of course, he'll be in front, and he'll leave us behind in the dark.
I know.
I hope we have plenty of candy this year, and some lights on the golf carts.
Have to start coming out of pocket.
And then on the 15th of December, we're doing Christmas in the Grove for at the transportation department there that night to help everybody get in the Christmas spirit. So I hope y'all will all come out and join us. I've got some flyers if y'all would like to. We've got the courses from the different elementary schools, singing, face painting, hay rides through the light, vendors, food trucks,
Wow.
everything. So
Went
we
up that much. It went up that
we
much.
invite y'all to come and join us. It's free,
Oh,
and
I
we
didn't
have
know
fun.
that. I hate more. Is it?
That's it.
All right. Well, I just got a note that we've got extra candy this year.
Okay.
Do
Good deal.
we need to increase the line item in a budget or something?
Yeah, that's what she's trying to tell me, that our
Are they
candy
gonna
expenditure.
decorate the carts at all?
I got lights for mine. I'll bring them to y'all
How are we powering?
with an inverter. Come on, girl.
Well, I need
Come on, girl.
Need some lights.
All right. Can I get a motion to
I make a
go
motion that we adjourn and go into closed session,
with
executive session.
real estate, personnel, and litigation?
Second.
Second. All in favor, aye?
I've got them in my school bus right now.
Postpone that. We may have to have a
Oh,
I got a hard time for being in a
Yeah. I texted her and I said,